Hello, welcome back to the screencast. It's been a while. Happy New Year, friends. And with a new year comes a new chapter. We're talking algebra today. And specifically today, we're going to talk about using inverse operations and specifically today, the subtraction property of equality, which sounds very fancy. So let's get right down to hearing some explanations on what that all means. Step one, I suppose, is to well, look at this problem. 8 equals x plus 3. And many of us in sixth grade, many of us in fifth grade, maybe even some adults, could just look at that and know, I know what x is. I know exactly what it is. But using this whole subtraction and inequality verbiage that we were just talking about a second ago, maybe we could take a look at why x equals what we think it equals. Okay. First things first, I see a variable in this expression right there, it's x, and what I want to do is isolate the variable. In other words, get it all by itself. So I need to take a look at this positive 3 here and figure out how could I get rid of it? Well, if I have plus 3 anything and I want to get rid of it, I simply subtract 3 things, which then on this side of the equal sign, on the right side today, would leave me with x because these two things cancel out. Thinking about algebra, it's all about balance, especially when we're working on equations. If I do something on one side, I have to do the exact same thing on the other. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 3, which will leave me with 5. 5 equals x. And if I go plug that 5 back into my original equation, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Taking a look at where our subtraction property of equality is, that's an example right here of what we just did. In this case, x is isolated by subtracting 2 from both sides, which leaves us with x equals 1. I know tonight's work at home, I didn't say homework, whoops, there's one, is word problems that look just like this one. And maybe this is the hardest part of what we'll be doing today. Ruben and Tarek have downloaded, I'm going to circle the number, 245 and 5/10 downloaded minutes of music. If Ruben has 132, that's another one, minutes. How many belong to Tarek? Okay. Write and solve an addition, okay, equation to find out how many minutes belong to Tariq. Okay. Well, I think the trickiest part of what we're about to do is writing the equation. And it's going to be an addition equation. So I better put an addition symbol somewhere. I know when I'm writing an equation, I'm going to need an equal sign. I'm feeling like what I'm trying to find is, this is our total. It's the total amount of downloads. And Ruben has 132 of those, which would lead me to believe I'm not sure what Tariq's has. So I'm going to make my variable t. And that's the hardest part of what we're going to be doing today in algebra. From here on in, we use that subtraction property. I'm going to draw a line through there. That's my thing to keep things separate. I'm going to isolate the variable, which in this case is, got it, t. And I notice on the t side that there's 132. Get rid of the 132, I'm going to subtract it. Those two things cancel each other out, which leaves me with just t. Remembering in algebra, if I do it on one side, I sure need to do it on the other. So I'm going to subtract 132. I'll write a subtraction symbol. There we go. I'm going to keep my place value with that 0/10, and then I'm going to subtract. Using this math, this equation, I have figured out that Tariq has 113 and 5/10 minutes, and that's what we're doing today in algebra. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a happy new year. I hope it's been off to a great start for you. please send me emails and comments to let me know how this can be better, or maybe even just that this is pretty good stuff. Thanks for helping. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the math you should know.